Hey there. You're tuned into the False Graves podcast. I'm your host, AK Baby Doo, the Lightbringer.
And I'm the Furman.
Oh, drink water, drink water, drink water, bitch. 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 Brush your teeth every day. Oh, don't play too many games. Oh, only 3 hours a day. Oh, respect your parents, okay? Oh, love your mom, love your dad. Always say please and thank you. Oh, you can say words like fuck and shit about coming your house and thank you.
Gotta love Young Scrolls for that one.
Shout out Young Scrolls. Shout out our editors. Shout out our subscribers.
Shout out this sign. It's fucking sick.
Shout it all out. Shout it from the heavens.
Want you to scream and shout. Go your hands up and shout. Come on now.
You know, if there's one thing worth shouting about, this time of year, the return of the Pumpkin Spice Latte.
The spookiest flavor around.
Now, we aren't white girls, but for tonight, we can channel some white girl energy.
1 second. Oh, okay, I'm ready. Oh my god, so Jason came up to me and he was talking to me, but I was so not there because, I had to go and get my spice.
Yeah, pumpkin spice. What kind of influence does the pumpkin spice latte have on the culture at large? Is it a net positive? Is it a net negative?
Oh, I gotta go with net negative. I hate it.
Net negative?
I'm not one for pumpkins, so I definitely don't want to spice it up.
Not a fan of the pumpkin.
Oh, I mean, for carving, hell yeah. For throwing at people, definitely. For leaving on my porch for 6 months to ferment, I'm in for it, but it's not my drink. Not in my drink.
Somebody's got to like the pumpkin spice latte. I mean, it's popular for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a vice. I mean, I don't like mint chocolate chip, but they still keep coming out with it too.
Man, you don't like any of the good flavors.
What flavors do you like? Like warm tuna can or something?
Nothing wrong with some warm tuna.
No, when it's in a can.
It's the vice of many men.
Ugh.
Many men.
They wish death upon me. Have you heard the Donald Trump remix of that?
I have. It's really nice.
It's a banger.
So, speaking of pumpkin spice, I feel like there's certain things in society that you could argue were engineered, like an industry plant. They were put there by some power, some force that wants to impose it, on the society at large.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Do you think maybe the pumpkin spice latte is an industry plant of sorts from the Illuminati?
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, it's an awful drink, god awful. I would rather drink rhinoceros blood than pumpkin spice. I would rather drink a steak than
You would rather drink a steak than drink a pumpkin spice latte.
Blend it up together with ketchup and A1 sauce. I'd be there all day.
You are out of your mind.
Well, yeah, that's why you have me on here.
So the Illuminati, why do you think they made it though? You say it's gotta be. Why does it have to be?
Well, it's because when you're high on cocaine, everything sounds good.
Fair.
And if it's the Illuminati, it's every single celebrity is part of it. That's the rules nowadays. It's you got to sign it used to be back in the day, you sign your soul to the devil.
Yeah. The Illuminati took that shit over.
Yeah, he branched out and now he's doing different stuff. He's actually into canning nowadays.
Yeah. Pickling even.
Ooh, really?
I mean, tell me, pickling perfectly fits in hell. It's a perfect addition to hell.
Oh yeah. I mean, anything that you add vinegar to, probably not very light.
Right. So with the devil retiring, the Illuminati taking his place, the devil, and you actually told me this, was known as the light bringer or the light bearer. Yeah. And I actually didn't know that.
Well, technically it was in Old Hebrew, some people mistake him for other beings in the Bible. Yeah. Believe it or not, because the devil or Satan is actually the adversary in Hebrew.
Really?
Yeah. they're not talking about the same guy every
I
time.
see. So the Illuminati kind of hijacked that shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when you sell your shares off in a company, you don't get to be part of the board anymore. So, he's like, you guys got this 5K, COVID, terrible movies.
Yeah. So let me get your take on this. As much of a conspiracy theorist as I am, I wonder with the Illuminati, because I often think many times the simplest strategy is the most commonly used. People often don't think 3 or 4 steps ahead. They only think one. And the Illuminati is such an easy attention grab that while we may argue all celebrities are in it, if you were to become a celebrity, without a shadow of a doubt, if you start hinting at Illuminati-based, let's say, content or words, people are going to just talk about you more. So I sometimes wonder if the Illuminati is simply people trying to get clout in the easiest way possible.
Well, I mean, I believe that there's a point where that could be true, but there are actually people out there that believe that the Earth is flat.
True.
Like, I'm sorry, but
and that somehow proves the Illuminati is a true conspiratorial organization.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about this in
people are also just dumb.
Oh yeah, I mean, we talked about this in the 9/11 episode. 300 tons of metal into another building, that couldn't have possibly brought it down. Couldn't possibly.
No, it was the jet fuel.
Oh yeah,
the fuel was what brought that building down.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm about to offend some people at home. I did my research. Jet fuel can, in fact, melt steel beams. It's like the kryptonite to Superman. You put a little jet fuel on a steel beam, it's tuck and tail.
Oh yeah,
and running the other direction.
It's got his cartoon gloves on. It's unreal. And as somebody that worked with planes before, like I used to work on jets. Like I know it doesn't look it now. Like I know it looks like I deal meth out of a trailer.
Yeah, you're an actual engineer.
Yeah, aerospace engineer, flight line.
Yeah,
and don't even get me started. I got the pleasure of watching a jet come down with no landing, and that was excellent. Anyway,
that was tops.
Oh, it was cool, but it was like shit. We're gonna have to clean that up.
So you do find a little pleasure out of the destruction of a plane, or was somebody in the plane?
Oh yeah, and he came out fine. That's why I can enjoy it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Did he like eject?
No. He just pulled up just right.
Oh yeah. But it damaged the plane.
Oh yeah, landing gear's fucked. Everything's fucked. We're gonna have to go out there with vacuum cleaners because you can't fly jets.
Well, that doesn't sound fun. That just sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. No. See, that part sucked. But watching it happen in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
In Area 51, dude.
Did any part of you think, man, if he had only just exploded the plane, I would have a lot less work to do?
No, because now we have a huge crater in the flight line, and that would have been infinitely worse.
Okay. So yeah, but I do wonder though with the Illuminati, like if you look at, let's say, a Travis Scott video, or just pick a really popular celebrity.
Oh, you mean like Katy Perry's eye thing?
That's one. Dark Horse. Video.
Oh yeah, and then you also got like that sign that apparently every celebrity makes.
Every big celebrity has at least one video that's filled with occult nonsense. Filled with occult nonsense. And what's surprising to me is nobody ever comes up to these celebrities and simply asks them, what was the symbology in your video based around? What inspired you to make a video with that symbology?
Well, I mean, because like using the shadow cabal that runs the nation through entertainment.
My video has, black blood oozing from my eyes, a couple all-seeing eyes in the background. But I'm just a humble celebrity. I'm just out here making content. Like, what inspires them to make these videos with that kind of imagery?
Okay, now let me go ahead and count. I believe that some of it is art, like the controversial ones. It's art. It's got to be like Marilyn Manson back in the day. What do you think he was trying to stab at a little bit? So
I agree with you with that. Some people it's art, and like Marilyn Manson, you're right. It's more of an art form. And I like to think if we have any occult themes such as our thumbnail, it's going to be centered around the art form of it. not in any way to actually promote the occult.
Yeah, I mean, we're not against promoting the occult. I mean, if they're a good sponsor, they're a good sponsor. We got to let them have their shot.
When the occult calls, I will return their call one time only.
Well, I mean, like, if I got to sign anything in blood, fuck, no.
Imagine we get a call from the Illuminati and we're just like, eat a bag of dicks. Like, just eat a bag.
We don't even get, like, the SWAT team open up. We just get the door kicked in and ninjas
instantly.
come in.
Like,
you want to say that again to my face?
At that point, they don't send their physical defense. They send the spiritual entities, which they control. They just come in.
You mean shadow people?
Yeah.
I've actually seen those before.
Well, that's how Epstein died. They think he hung himself, but there was a shadow cabal member in the room juggling him on a rope.
For all the viewers at home, the False Grave podcast is not insinuating that anything happened to Jeffrey Epstein that he didn't do himself. I mean, except for that part where we did, because you can't hang yourself off of, like, foot distance. Nobody has that level.
Yeah, and white men can't jump, so let's get real. I mean, how's he getting off the ground in the first place? He's too old to fucking step on a stool to hang himself.
Can't outrun the cops, but he can sure hang himself like a champ.
And so, but no, I'm going to attribute the Illuminati, a theory, not that I believe it, but a theory, to Regina George and Mean Girls. So let's say the celebrities of the world, let's say they're like the Mean Girls, right? You've got your Regina George, your handful of elites, the top tier.
The plastics.
The top popular people, the top celebrities. And everyone kind of associates with them. In high school, part of being a cool kid is people who aren't as cool wonder what the cool kids do when they're not being cool. Like, I mean, surely you thought that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was never cool in school, so...
But you think, what do the cool kids do?
Yeah.
Like what are they doing? You want to know.
I imagine sit-ups or making out with other cool people. Like, that's what I think, anyway.
Sure. But when you're a celebrity, the issue with being provocative and people being interested in you is people know what you're doing. People know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm waiting for the day where you get a stalker because I'm too ugly to get one.
But what I'm saying is, if people know what you're doing, how do you continue to draw attention? It's very hard for people to be drawn in if they already know what you're doing. Like, if you're Travis Scott, you're probably either making a rap video, getting back with your ex-baby mama, Kylie Jenner.
I mean, like...
Or doing some drugs. That's all you got. Like, yeah, what else are you doing?
And we're worried about you, Travis. Watch out. The last guy that entered that family, you know, they cut his dong off. No, I'm sorry. They just bankrupted him.
And then he went on to hate the Jews.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody recovers from that.
Nobody. And so, if you're a celebrity and part of, you know, maintaining that status is having your life exposed, how do you create that allure? How do you create the mystique? And so, my thought is, you're Regina George in high school, but people can view your life. They know what you do, even the uncool parts. How do you make people still interested? The secret, the mystery. I think you introduce an element of occult, an element of Illuminati symbolism, and you do it in a way that you never talk about it. Like, you don't actually ever outwardly say, yeah, I did this, you know, for shits and giggles. You just never talk about it. And so people in the comments, people at home will start talking themselves about you simply because you put in some mysterious components in your work.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and piggyback off that. The unsaid thing about art is the most interesting because everybody's going to fill in that blank. It's like horror movies. The monster you can't see is infinitely scarier than, well, I wouldn't say infinitely. There's some horror monsters out there that scare my ass. And I know it's fake, which is weird.
Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yeah. Blood and Honey 18 coming to a theater near you.
But yeah, I wonder if it's simply a big old, you know, mean girl circle, and they're just like, haha, we're gonna drop some all-seeing eyes in the background, and the 9-to-5 workers at home are just going to look at this and talk amongst themselves with our names in their mouth. And it's going to fixate that attention on us. But it's not real. Like, imagine it isn't real. It's just one big joke on the working class.
Well, I mean, it kind of is, because like once you get that big, the only thing that keeps you that big is mystique. That's why whenever guys like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, whenever people get like overexposed, like for the longest time, like I love Dwayne the Rock Johnson, love him to death. I would have his children if given the chance.
Well, I mean, it's a good genetic offspring. You're at least getting some good kids.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, like they'd be buff coming out, like they're just Anyway, though, but there was a time where I couldn't watch his movies anymore.
Yeah, why?
Because it was oversaturated with him. I was like, this is a guy. It's going to be an action movie. Smolder. That's
100%.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's when the occult kind of gets brought into it.
Interesting you say you just couldn't watch his movies anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody that's very interesting to me, though I'm not going to say that I outright support the person or I think they're good or bad. Well, I do think they were bad, and they're making an effort to try and be good.
Is it Kim Jong-un?
No.
Okay.
But in the modern world, Andrew Tate, I'd never seen anybody manage to cultivate a following as successfully as he did so quickly. And I always study a successful player. I always study somebody who has clearly done their homework and pulled something off that most people can't. And what's interesting is when I look at what's happening with him now, even despite the fact there's still a lot of eventful things going on with him, like, he got put back in jail today, actually.
Today?
Yeah. He had been out on house arrest for a while, and the cops came to his house and detained him today and put him back in jail.
I'd be so fucking pissed. Like, I just finished the paperwork, guys.
But what's funny is I'm noticing that even despite sensational things are happening, he is losing his celebrity status slowly. Not to say he's not still a big celebrity, but I see he's on the decline. And it's almost like there's only a certain high you can reach. Like, you can only go so far and be so sensational before, no matter what, it comes to an end. No matter what, people get bored of you at some point.
Yeah, it's the Kid Icarus effect.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much that you can fly to the sun, and then you're just burnt out.
And so I feel like every celebrity today is on this constant stretch of reinvention, of trying to continue to draw people into them.
Could you imagine if Andrew Tate becomes a feminist? I would die. I would. Well, on screen, I'd be on this podcast. Just
he does joke about being a feminist, though. Obviously.
Well, I mean, technically, he empowered women to take control of their bodies, but he took 90% of their money, 99% of their money.
And so, it's hard for me to go. I'm 50-50 on. There's a shadow cabal that's very manipulative, running things. And I do think maybe on a government level there is, but when it comes to celebrities, I do think a lot of it's just the easy views, the easy clout.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel you on that, but like, to a lesser extent, I kind of wish there was a secret cabal that knew shit that we didn't know.
Is that just so you can join it? No.
I just want smart people running the country, even if it's to the detriment of...
So I'm going to talk about something that's a personal experience here with what you're saying. So a lot of people attribute the Illuminati to the Freemasons.
Yeah.
They think that the modern day Illuminati is just a tier of Freemasonry that's maybe, the more elite, the more advanced people in the Masons. Something that's very interesting about Freemasonry is it exists today still quite predominantly. And for example, even, we live in a small area. We're not like in a big city or anything like that. We live kind of...
Well, we have 2 whole Dollar Generals. Like, let's not go ahead and count ourselves out.
But every small town that's around our area has a Mason lodge. There are Mason lodges all around us. If you actually stop and look this up, you'll find out there's a Mason lodge where we're at. And in every surrounding city, there are Masonic lodges. And I wonder, given how prominent Christianity is and how how little talked about Masonry is, how they managed to facilitate all these lodges. And another thing that's very interesting, when rap really took off, probably like 5 to 10 years ago, when Kanye was at his peak, when Lil Wayne was at his peak, when Eminem was still kind of not aged out of the rap game.
Which, I mean, he came back.
They introduced all the symbolism, like, en masse. Like, there was, like, the G, the compass with the G in it.
Yeah.
The all-seeing eye. And all of this stuff started to become prevalent in rap music. And it was super popular. But even today, when you go out in traffic, keep an eye out for the G, for the compass with the G in the middle. You'll start to notice many, many vehicles have the symbology as a bumper sticker. It's alarming how many do. And I wonder what compels people to put that on their cars if they're not a Mason.
They just want to be part of the club. Like, how many people do you... Okay, so the circle with the black and the white, what do you call that?
Yin and yang?
Okay, that's actually not what it is. It's a symbol for the Tao.
Okay.
Which is even funnier because it's spelled T-O-A. But that's not the point. What I'm trying to say...
Just like Gintama, I could not figure out how to spell that dude's name.
Well, it starts with a J-Y. N-T-I-N.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, people just want to be included. And one of the requirements to join the Freemasons is to have a skill.
Yeah.
And to believe in Jesus. Or to believe in a God.
Yeah. You think?
No, I know, because I talked to one.
I've thought about going to a Masonic temple to try and figure out what they have, like what they know that I don't know. Because there's this whole idea of enlightenment. Once you're initiated, you have to go through this ritual of enlightenment.
Which you don't have to. And being enlightened isn't the end all.
Sure. But I'm just very curious what secrets they're holding. And there's so many cars with the symbol on them. And, like a month back, when I was in that frame of mind, I'm thinking about, obviously, the symbol, so I'm seeing it more. I was stopped in a parking lot. This is a true story. And a guy parked in a very odd spot, because I was parked way out of the way, and he parked right next to me. And I noticed before he parked in a spot, he had one of the symbols on his bumper. And he got out of the vehicle, and he walked around, and he got right up to my window. This is a true story. And he knocked on it. And I rolled down the window, and he said, "Hey, man, that's a nice car you got."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well, yeah, thank you. I just recently got it. It was for my grandmother, actually. I bought it from her, and yeah, it's a nice car." And he goes, "That's all. I just wanted to tell you I like your car." And then he calmly walked away. And when I drove out of that parking lot, I was headed to another town. And on the way out, I noticed I drove past the Masonic temple in that town. And it's just so eerie to me. I'm just I don't know. I'm curious what the Masons know and what they don't know. I'm curious.
The Masons know that having a faith in a higher deity and a skill that is profitable is what can make a man.
True.
That's what it is. They've got good marketing with good values, because 99.9% of religions go, do not murder for no good reason.
Right.
Yeah, like in the Bible, it says, thou shalt not murder. Not thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not murder. That means do not premeditatively sit down and be like, fuck Jeff down the street.
Well, unless it's Sheila down the street. If it's Sheila, go ahead.
I mean, if she accidentally goes missing, I mean, that would be a tragedy of which I would be very sad.
So, Do you think the Illuminati is controlling the world, or is it just some clout chasers who are popular?
I think that I would hope that there's people that are smarter than us running the world, because like in the end of it, I would love to say that I'm a smart guy, but currently I have been eating bologna sandwiches for like the last like 10, 15 years, and that shit's made out of pork anuses. Like I mean,
see, that's the difference between you and me. I do think there are people for sure smarter than me in many topics, but I don't have faith that a single individual could outperform me given I had enough time with any topic.
So a heart surgeon?
I feel like I could be the best heart surgeon the world has ever known. Absolutely.
Then why aren't you?
Because medical school will cost you all of your youth just to be able to practice. And I think that's an insane waste of youth. And I think that the excruciating amount of schooling you have to undertake to become a doctor is unbelievable. Yeah. Coupled with the financial burden of paying for it, it's insane.
Well, see,
that's why I'm not a heart surgeon.
No, and see, that's where you're wrong. The first open heart surgery was performed by an African American on a couple of guys that started a knife fight in like 1852.
Well, yeah, that's 1852. You can't just become a doctor now.
You can become a street pharmacist whenever you want. It's just
but you said heart surgeon.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a matter of dedication.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be a street doctor, I mean, the mob used to be looking. I mean, maybe the Illuminati though.
But no, the reason I'm not a doctor is because it's too much school.
I mean, they go through all that school because like in the 1900s, like in the 1800s, dear God, it was basically, let's just bleed you because you got a headache. You got too much blood. That's what it is.
Hey, maybe they were right.
The dead patients.
Do you want to know why doctors really go to school for 10 years in America?
Money?
Yeah, it is money, but it's different than that. It's not their money; it's somebody else's. The reason in America is the longest period of education to be a medical practitioner. You can go to Europe and get a degree in like 6 years, and then come back to the States and practice. Yeah, you can get a doctorate in Europe and come over and practice.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to learn a whole nother language to do it.
And you have to stay over there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be costly too. So most people don't. But the reason is because lawyers. The legal system in America is so skewed towards suing people for any reason that unless doctors are proficiently versed in the art of bullshit, then they can't be doctors. It's like you have to submit to 10 years of getting told this, this, and this just so a board of some medical company can properly articulate that you're not a liability. It's all just an effort to prevent liability. Like, oh, we're going to get sued if our doctors don't have 11 years of schooling under their belt, so we're going to do everything we can to make sure lawyers can't sue us.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if I came in to like a doctor's office and he was like, "Yeah, bro, your fucking shit's all messed up, dude. So we're just gonna go ahead and make like a little surgery. We're gonna cut.
I would fuck with that doctor so hard,
man.
That's what it's all about. Personable cells.
Yeah, and I get that, but like also like I would like my doctor to know every drug or at least how to break it down in Latin, because all our drugs are in Latin.
See, and that's one thing I'll pick you up on. I wonder when it comes to personalities, how much is sacrificed in terms of proficiency just due to the fact of submission. And so when you say you'd want to know that your doctor knows everything he can to save you.
Yeah.
Imagine there was a system where he could be much more specialized and avoid a lot of, let's say, the upper education that people have to do to get a doctorate.
Yeah.
And he could solely focus on that special thing that he's doing for you, whether it's heart surgery, brain surgery, etc. He can solely focus on that from the moment he's out of high school. Instead, what these people have to do is they have to submit to a system which causes them to have to pay attention to things that aren't in their dedicated fields. And I do believe there is a dumbing down that happens in the brain when people are forced to submit to information that they don't find desirable. And if you're the guy who from like 3 years old is like, I'm going to fix somebody's fucking brain, that's me. Like, that's my thing. I know brains. You know, I cut my mom's head open when I was 6. I put it back together, gave her a lobotomy and a reverse lobotomy.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, just because I could. But now I have to sit through, 4 years of English and grammar and mathematics. You can't tell me that guy's as effective as the guy who could have singularly focused on his skill.
Yeah, but he is more effective than the guy that doesn't know the difference between 3 fluid ounces and 3 lbs.
Fair enough.
Like, and I can see like letting them have to take like other kind of like classes to kind of get them versed. Like a Latin class wouldn't be amiss. It would be shit like historical art figurines and stuff like that, which some people end up taking anyway.
Right.
But I would love my doctor to know that the skull is connected to the vertebrae. The vertebrae is connected to the rib cage.
Yeah, well, true. But before we get off this one, I'll give you a comparison. So you look at the best fighters in the history of boxing or the UFC. These were individuals who were fully dedicated to the craft of fighting. Mike Tyson only knew fighting. From a young age, he was picked on for his beautiful accent, his beautiful lisp. The kids picked on him, Furman. They picked on him. And he developed a deep rage, which allowed him to punch with the force of a 2-ton truck and conquer his foes.
And see, like, that reminds me actually of a Bruce Lee quote. I do not fear the man who has practiced 1,000 different kicks one time. I am scared of the man who has practiced 1,000 times one kick.
100%.
I mean, if he's coming at me with that kick, I'm scared.
I'm saying there's many professions in this world that are non-educational, where the champions of them were solely dedicated to the craft of that field. Fighting, etc. There's many art,
mechanics.
Making music.
Oh, God. Like, did I tell you about my water pump going out?
No.
Oh, okay. Out in the middle of Boomfuke, Egypt, right?
Right.
All right. Water pump goes out. Didn't know it at the time. Thought it was a medium fix. No big deal. Have the guy tow me back. Now, this guy that he hires, right?
Right.
The guy that he has working for him, he looks like the only thing he knows is what flavor dip he likes.
And he was a professional.
He was looking at me like, man, I don't even know they sing. No, he talked like
Boomhauer.
My God, if this man was my doctor, no way.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I let him cook because I
Okay.
trusted the tow guy because I've known him for years. He helped me end my marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, with a gun, but he made her sign. He busted in that door. You sign it. Sorry. You sign it now. But
Looking icy king.
anyway,
she signed the divorce. Okay, but what's your point?
the point is that he broke down that Volkswagen, a 2014 Tiguan,
Yeah.
in less than 4 hours and had it back together.
That's what I'm saying.
In less than 6.
That's what I'm saying.
He dedicated himself to the craft.
That is what I'm saying. And the education system forces people to split. It forces them to be forked in their approach to their craft. And there are people who just won't have it. They will not have it. The most dedicated people, when when they're talking about people dropped out of college and they became successful. Most people who drop out of college don't become successful because you're not Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates. But the ones that do, like those three that I just listed, they are singularly focused on certain things. They know how to focus.
Elon making PayPal. Fucking Bill Gates computer shit.
For instance, okay, yeah, you have a brain surgeon who wants to be able to fix people's problems and give them the power of certain functionalities back. But you have Elon who is like, screw that. I'm going to do my own thing. And now he's putting chips in people's heads that allows them to control computers without any medical degree.
So these chips are like sour cream then.
But you get my point.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
There's a submissiveness to education that I think prevents the cream of the crop from ever truly developing.
No, yeah, and that kind of goes in with like AI art. Like the real artists out there, they exist. There are guys out there painting with fucking katanas.
True.
Yeah, and
on TikTok.
Oh, seriously. Like there are some people out there with some truly unique talents. And then you've also got Subway Surfer and Am I the Asshole stories. And I mean,
and OnlyFans.
Oh man,
truly unique talent.
If you can't make it on one of those three, you're cooked as a human being.
Yeah. And so yeah, I say all that just to go, I think, yeah, people should be able to dedicate themselves to one thing, and all the true greats of our time in any field were able to do that. And education goes, no, this is what's needed for the masses. Nothing wrong with that. But the true elites should singularly focus, and they shouldn't waste their time.
I think that there should be like an entire class in college just on taxes.
Well, then people would know how to not get taken advantage of, in which case they're no good to society.
Man.
Because our government wants you to be taken advantage of so they can continue to front insanely expensive tax bills.
Yeah, that's why I don't file taxes.
Yeah.
I just let it ride. I already know that they took too much money.
Let me tell you something about inflation. Everyone's talking about, oh, we got to get inflation down. It's more than it's ever been. Okay, listen. There is no hope at getting inflation down unless it's already near the peak of 40. Unless it's already near its peak, and I'll explain. As much as, I like Trump and I want him to win this election year, he had a terrible response to COVID, in my opinion, and a lot of the inflation today that we have truly is because of the actions he took. And the reason is all the stimulus money that went out, all the money printing during COVID has to equate to higher prices, and I'll explain. So did you know that during COVID, 40% of all American USD was printed during those 2 or 3 years? 40% of all American USD got printed during COVID.
No.
Yes, 40%. And America, USD is the reserve currency of the world. And when you print 40% more money, truthfully, over time, there is no option but for 40% to be the rate of inflation. And so when people go, inflation was 10% this year, etc., it was some insane amount. I'm telling you, it's not going to rectify itself until it's hit that 40%. We printed 40% more money. Prices have to go up across the board by 40%. And the reason it might even seem higher initially for certain areas is business owners who have a big control of the market, let's say fast food. People are heavily reliant on fast food. They know that 40% more money got printed, and they're like, we're going to get ahead of the curve. We're going to get ahead of this inflation by raising prices very highly early. So once it finally rounds out, we can start looking like the good guys again when we can drop those prices back down. So if McDonald's, turned a McDouble from $1.50 to $4, well, in 3 years, when, the dust has settled and they put that McDouble back at $3, you're going to be like, hey, I'm kind of getting my money's worth again.
Yeah, see, that's adorable. You think they're going to put it back at $3.
I'm just saying that maybe not 3, but they're going to play this game.
Oh, yeah, they're going to play this game where see, that's where coupons and stuff like that come into play now. It used to be a way to save the average American, a little bit of jingle jangle, but now it's literally a market scheme to go ahead and get you what it's actually valued at.
Dude, I feel like coupons got guilt tripped out of existence. I haven't ran into a coupon user at the store in years.
Yeah, that's because it's all electronic. Everything's electronic. Money is electronic. That's why I don't understand. We printed 40% of America's money. Okay, got it. Great. Now, what about Bitcoin? What about that digital money?
What about it?
Well, I mean, like... oh, good Lord. That's where 40% of it went, folks.
The printers are cooking.
Anyway, it's...
Crypto's a more stable currency than the U.S. dollar, in my opinion, as it stands.
Uh-huh.
But no, to your point... to your point, go ahead. I had something to branch off on, but I'll let you go.
1 second while I cook. Anyway, the problem being is like what's tangible versus intangible.
Yeah.
With digital money, what's to stop them from inflating it to a ridiculous amount?
Well, with Bitcoin, it's because it's tied to a set amount of Bitcoin. There's only X amount that'll ever be generated, and therefore it's a scarcity product. Like, there's only X amount of Bitcoin that'll ever be created based on the code that generated it.
Just like regular money. We were going to stop printing money, right? Remember that?
True, but the thing with Bitcoin is nobody knows, who made... They say Satoshi Sakamoto or whatever, but nobody knows who's really behind, the generation of it. And people do, in good faith, believe that no more will be generated over that X amount that they've said will be.
So do you think that there'll be a crisis if they ever find out that they did?
Oh, if crypto is a $2 trillion market roughly at the moment, if there was a reveal that Bitcoin was inflationary, and by that I mean they're actually going to make more of it than was originally thought, the entire market would collapse the same day. The entire market. And I don't mean like a little dip like 30 or 40%. I mean it would go belly up instantly.
Well, and see, that's what I'm kind of worried about, because already at the ATM, an automatic teller machine was supposed to cut back costs for having to hire regular people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why am I having to pay $4 to pull out money that is my money?
Because they know that they've got you over a barrel and they can just bend you over and do with you what they please. They know they can take advantage of you.
Exactly. And if all I wanted, was to go ahead and pick up, just one $10,000 bill, which these will be real after the next episode.
Yeah,
However,
they printed them for us. Straight from the Federal Reserve.
Thanks, Barack. Actually, yeah, that is Barack. Anyway. Like, I worry that since we don't have anything tangible to equate it to, like we used to have gold and then JFK got.
Yeah.
What is it equated to now?
Well, I think it's a very nasty blend of everything, and it's very hard for the average person to stay on top of it. Truly, there was a point during COVID, people tell you to not spend your money. There was a point during COVID, it was so bad, you would have been better off spending your money on items before COVID and reselling them than you would have having cash.
Did you know that's actually a crime?
What?
That's insanity to me. Like
items as currency?
Well, yeah. Well, not well. I mean, like buying in bulk and then selling back to the community. That's
a crime. I see.
That's considered a crime, which is ridiculous. If you've got the hindsight to be like, I've got water, I got shit tickets, I got that canned spam in a ham. So me thinking ahead is a crime.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if it's like a $1, $2 profit, I mean, come on. I mean, come on.
So, given that money is being inflated to God knows what, and the U.S. dollar is continually losing value, you know, what does that speak to lottery winners? Like, what does that speak to people who have a large amount of cash?
It just screams to the government either way. Like, it screams when you win the lottery and they take 60% of like 60% of your Powerball winnings, like that 3 billion that we hit, that 3 billion that we hit.
Yeah.
My God, the government was sitting up there just 60%.
Dude, and not only that, you know, 90% of lottery winners aren't going to be able to maintain it. They're going to spend it. And then it just goes back to the higher ups anyway.
Mm.
And so, like, you know, what good is the lottery? I think it's just good for a show. It's good just to pretend that it's going to help people. It's just good to pretend.
Oh, you see this? We helped one poor person. One.
They
singular.
call it the most thrilling game. Like, it's the ultimate game, as the ads might say.
Yeah, I mean, like, I thought that hunting people was the ultimate.
If you get an immense amount of money out of nowhere, there is a simple strategy that will allow you to keep it. And I'll tell you, it's not don't spend it. It's not save it particularly. It's just sit on the fucking money. If you get $2 billion tomorrow, try just holding it for a year. Try just holding it. See how it goes. Just hold it. Don't spend it. Just hold that money and get accustomed to the fact that you have that much money. And when you have it and you don't spend it, what'll develop is a discipline. You'll develop the ability to actually keep the shit. Because you'll internalize the fact you're wealthy as fuck before you actually start spending like you're wealthy as fuck. And then you won't feel the need to spend it into oblivion. You can just spend on the things you like and call it a day.
Yeah, and see, that's where I messed up. Like, I got a large settlement, like, years ago.
Yeah.
I got it well known amongst my friends all of a sudden, and out of nowhere, without some sort of reason, everybody's grandma's cat got cancer.
That's because you're a good guy.
I wish I wasn't, because, like, I fell for everything. I broke my leg. Oh, I just need $10, $100, $200, $500,
yeah,
$1,000, and after like 10 months of supporting my own habits and other people's.
I was talking with my girl the other day about this exact thing. It's interesting because, you know, a lot of people say what you're saying, that, you know, once you get a little money and people know it, everyone starts coming asking for handouts. And a lot of people who have, you know, a good amount of money saved up end up losing it because people become reliant on them. And I said, I don't see how that's possible. Like, for one, I've never had anyone like that around me. I think it's partially because of the energy I give off. But there's a guy on Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful.
Oh, is that Boulder Ball guy?
Yeah, the bald guy.
Oh, Boulder Ball.
Oh, no. He's the bald one.
Oh, gotcha.
But he had I thought, very good strategy on dealing with people who want money from you. And not that anyone's going to be as rich as he is, but...
Well, I mean, he's on Shark Tank. I ain't never going to get that money.
But it was... People get to...
like, comfortable with that shit.
It was people get to ask one time for a handout from him. They can be as egregious as they'd like to be. If they want to ask him for a $200,000 handout, he'll give it, in his words. But the catch is, they can never ask for anything again. They can never ask for anything again. Period.
No, because you can't be sitting there like this. Like, otherwise, your money's gone. Well, sorry. Again, he's got that kind of money. Like, you can only do that so many times before you're back into the brokies. And
smells like money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oddly enough.
One second. Let me just get it used to the way that I'm used to. Oh, it does smell like real money.
And so That was his take, and that's similar to mine. You know, I'm pretty generous, especially to people initially, but I think people know better than to ask me for extra. Like, I will literally end your life if you become an inconvenience to me. Like, especially if I've been generous to you and you return it with desperation for more, I will deploy everything in my arsenal to make your life a living hell. So not only will it be a no that you'll get from me, you will legitimately have your life punished to eternity. Like, until you hit the grave, you will be punished by me personally for your greed.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's because, like, the hardest lessons, like, okay, one of the things that they teach you in NA is that you cannot, by the way, shout out to Narcotics Anonymous. Anyway, you can't save somebody who doesn't want to be saved.
Right.
And that typically means letting them hit rock bottom. They got to be sucking dicks for, like, Subway sandwiches. That's typically when the people are the most receptive and willing to admit, I've got a problem. I've got to fix this. Because you can sit here all day and you can try and help them.
Yeah.
But until they reach that level...
Well, let's talk about strength and mercy.
Mercy is only mercy when it is made with gratefulness, met with gratefulness.
True. I think only the very strong, and maybe even the monstrous, have the biggest capacity for mercy, and I'll explain.
All right, Jordan Peterson.
Well, it's similar to what I was just talking about. Okay, so let's say you're going to set out to be kind and love and trust. You're going to set out to be kind and love and trust, and you're a man of the world, and you're going to bring light to it. One of the issues with that is the threat of other people. Let's say somebody out there is nefarious, and they're going to take advantage of your love and your trust and your kindness.
Well, they can't take advantage of any of those, if you act with intelligence.
True, but here's where strength comes into play. So let's take another scenario. You're a man with a family. You have to even more safeguard your interactions with other people, because what if they bring harm to your family? And so let's say you're just a typical, well-to-do 9-to-5 worker with a wife and kids. And you notice that there's this guy who's, came on bad luck. He's down in his life, but a lot of people call him a thief, and they think that he steals. You invite him over for dinner because you want to accommodate people. You want to, be in love, and you want to bring the light. And you tell him beforehand, look, I'm going to treat you as an individual, as a person, with kindness, but if something does go missing from my house, you're excommunicated. That's it. I'll never have you over again. Okay. Whether he steals or doesn't, I want to bring up a different scenario. Let's say you were Vlad the Impaler, one of the most nefarious figures in history. He killed people in ways that were unimaginable. Like, he brought an art form to suffering.
More or less.
Let's say that man, Vlad the Impaler, decided to have mercy on you. He invited you over for dinner and to have a great feast with him and his servants and his wife and family. I don't know whether he had those, but he has you over for dinner out of kindness. Who are you more likely to steal from as a thief? The regular man with a family working a 9-to-5, or Vlad the Impaler? And that's what I mean when I say strength connects to mercy, because truthfully, the thief is not going to steal from Vlad the Impaler. And why? Why won't he?
Well, that's because, like, the options between getting my ass beat by a peasant with no teeth or no toothbrush versus getting a stake put up my butthole and then having to shimmy my way down. I mean...
And so the weak man might actually be giving the thief an opportunity to succumb to further vices, to succumb to further degeneracy. His handout could be met with continually being taken advantage of. But a monster like Vlad the Impaler can give mercy where a normal man cannot, because nobody is going to cross Vlad in his own house. You just saw him impale 50 dudes
like
on a stake.
You're not playing that game.
You're not gonna play that game.
Yeah, the ratio on that, no. No. Okay, being beaten up by weak peasants, getting stabbed to death.
Through the butt. And then slowly bleeding out while he watches you as a form of entertainment.
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, Vlad the Impaler, I did a history report on him in high school. I was that kid. Anyway, he invited like 80 some odd guests over to his house, made them dig their own graves. Like, that's just, that's metal. That's metal as hell.
And yeah, I'm just saying, if you want to be very merciful, it pays to be strong. It pays to be a threat.
But the problem is, like, with nowadays, anybody can be a threat with a Smith & Wesson.
True.
And the only thing that stops a lot of people is the law.
But can you convey it, though? Can you convey that you're a threat?
Oh, I can convey that I want to go ahead and give somebody a Colt 45 enema. But the point being is whether or not I have to act upon it. Back in the day, it was, if you're small enough, you get punished for the crime. If you're big enough, then it just gets written down in the history books that you were kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Vlad the Impaler being kind of a dick is kind of an understatement.
True. I'm just going, I think, being, a monster of sorts gives you the ability to give handouts to people who otherwise might just take advantage of them and become worse off for it.
Well, I mean, like, if you're a minnow, would you rather fuck with the big fish or the small fish?
The small fish.
See, that... Okay, so, like, those lampreys that, like, latch onto sharks? Would you rather be one of those? Or would you rather be a minnow in, like, a freshwater pond?
I'd rather be a minnow in a freshwater pond.
Really? Because now you got bullfrogs, catfish...
That's just me, though.
Yeah, no, I'd rather be that guy that's hanging out with the shark.
That's sucking on the big boss.
Yeah, like, I would rather be on the big boss.
Smoking
like,
big deuce, smoking big deuce, smoking big deuce, smoking big deuce, smoking big deuce.
Like, I'd rather be that guy all day. I would rather, if I have to suck dick at life, then I'd rather go ahead and get the CEO. Okay, I'm not getting middle management.
Bossing in the kitchen. Saucing.
Like, if you gotta suffer, at least make it worth your while.
Fair. For me, I'd rather suffer just for the slim chance I got a chance to be the big boss, the CEO. I'd rather take all the risk. If there's not an opportunity for the ultimate, I'd rather die in the struggle.
Well, while you struggling, I'm enjoying that pumpkin spice, I guess.
Well, that's the difference, between the two. Yeah, this is the duality, the yin and yang.
Yeah, and
the hedonists and the light bringer.
Told you not to bring that up.
I've already had a Bill's wet.
Oh shit, me too.
Well, now we're just covered in money.
God, we're gonna have to get Jamie in here. Jamie! Man, that intern sucks.
So, we're coming up on 1,000 subs.
Oh,
and we had promised some cricket eating when that occurs.
And it's gonna be awful. And now, I'm doing it for you guys.
One thing, I want to hear some feedback. I want to hear from the people who subscribe. Most of you guys listening to us came from the video of, us vowing to eat crickets at 1,000 subscribers. But yet, you're not commenting and I'm not seeing any feedback. Just give us your thoughts. Like, what are you most looking forward to with cricket eating? Like, we're very close now. We're 50 subs away.
Yeah, give us your thoughts. That's what we're after. We're after your thoughts.
Yeah, we're trying to build a community here.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want it to be like, when we get to 10,000, I gotta eat a live octopus. You know what? I'll do it for you guys.
We're givers at the core. And now I know I just said I would murder somebody who asked for too much. But don't let that distract you from the fact that I'm a natural giver.
Now, I mean, for literally 1 million views, I might fist fight a gorilla. I mean,
I might kill a bear.
Oh shit!
For 100,000 views. I mean 100,000 subs.
Look, we might go ahead and go outside and shoot each other with paintball guns for a certain amount, but you guys got to let us know what the threshold is.
Yeah. If you're lonely, we got you covered.
If you're bored, we got you covered.
We got it. We're entertainers by law. Literally, it was ordained by the judge that we entertain till the end of our days.
Yeah, which, by the way, we got 31 more days on that sentence.
Before the shooting range execution.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be
A lot
fun.
of people don't know that this is actually being shot out of a jail cell.
It's a really nice jail cell, though.
Yeah, we got the fancy one because we're entertainers.
Oh, yeah.
And the warden and the guards love us.
Well, it's that because we have the most teeth in our town.
The warden is actually funding all of this.
Which, remind me to go ahead and give him the double action for the neon sign.
It's called False Graves because he just can't believe that we're going to leave him. He can't believe that we're leaving this earth so soon.
I mean, it's surprisingly fast in this part of the country, which is non-specified, like The Simpsons.
We're coming to you live from an undisclosed location.
Just know that we have $2 generals. Count them. 1, a dos, a 2.
You guys know about the ice wall. Well, let's just say we're on the other side of it. Okay?
I mean, like, we're in Dan.
This is when some badass on the internet sends us our literal address.
Oh my god. I'm hoping. Oh god, I'm praying to God that I can get a stalker before we get doxxed.
I love stalkers.
Oh man, if I could go ahead and have somebody rifle through my trash for my used tampons.
You don't want to know a person you can't trust. Anybody who says, "Oh, my stalker. You shut the fuck up. Everybody wants a stalker.
I mean, if you're that interested to go ahead and comb through my garbage, I mean, I'm a little flattered.
Everybody wants a stalker. I don't care. And yeah, maybe you fear for your life a little bit. Maybe. But isn't that part of the thrill? Like, the thrill of life is danger. There's a reason why Jeffrey Dahmer got all those letters from his fans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Not Ted Kuklinski. God, what was his name?
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, Ted Bundy. Man, Richard Ramirez got married while in prison. Like, how crazy is that?
Crazy.
Dude, Jim Jones was married to he was married to 9 people, but it's semantics.
I actually think the first rate of attractiveness when it comes to being a man is danger. I think it's the number one metric of attractiveness is danger.
That explains why a lot of people are in dysfunctional arrangements.
How capable is a man of committing violence is directly correlated with how capable he is of pulling tail.
Well, I mean, let's be real here. Are you more afraid of a tiger? Or are you more afraid of, a puppy? Like, which one's more
tiger.
enticing? Yeah, which one's more enticing? Because you can find a puppy anywhere. But if you got to pet a fucking tiger...
Yeah. Well, I think the world is innately dangerous, and even though we live very civilized lives, it's hard to escape that fact from our DNA makeup. Like, we're just stuck in this idea that danger is ever present. And when you see a man who's just gonna commit violence on a whim, good lord.
Unga bunga. I like him. He got tattoos. Make poor decision. Unga bunga.
Violence is attractive because it shows that you're not going to be a little bitch when actual oppression, when actual violence shows up at your door.
Yeah, you're not going to be the guy that's like, oh yes, my wife's upstairs if you'd like to go and get her. You're going to be the guy that pulls out the Glock and shoots through the door.
Yeah, for the viewers at home, I'll ask a simple question. What's more attractive? The guy who you go to the store with, and when the clerk asks, does he have an account? What's his email? What's his address? And he signs up for, a card with the store. A 10-minute process. Is that guy attractive versus the guy when the clerk says, hey, do you have an account with us? He pulls out a Glock and immediately shoots up the register. Which man would you rather be with in that scenario?
See, I feel like our chats are going to be divided on this one.
I'd rather be with the guy shooting up the register, no question. Because that guy knows business.
Well, I'm just saying, after years of being a stripper, I feel like the guy that's going to sign up for the Costco card and tenderly rub my face tonight.
But which guy would you have more likely had gone home with?
Probably register man. Yeah, probably register shooty man.
Yep. That's how it goes.
I mean,
if you can kill the register, you can kill the pussy.
I mean, felons better. That's what I heard.
I mean, and it's on display, degenerate display, I will add. I mean, even in prisons, we've got literal inmates screwing the guards these days.
Oh my God, that one woman with the 8 guys getting on that fucking choo-choo. Oh my God, dude. They had the video on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Those guys definitely, they're on the upper echelons for the rest of their sentence.
Oh my God.
It's going to be hard to top those guys in the prison.
I mean, you can dude guard, but that's going to be well, you got free cigarettes and shit, but female guard consensually. I mean, she was like, hey, can you get me the gang? Come on. I need names. Chris, Tyrone, Daquan. I need them all.
So degenerate. Degenerate. But that's what our society's come to.
Yeah, because she was after that.
She gave one look to the guard and was like,
damn. He's thick.
Speaking of girth.
See, that's one thing I don't understand about women, though, is they actually like butts.
Yeah.
Bro.
Well, I think everybody likes butts.
That's a universal kind of thing. But but for men, it's, it's another socket to connect into. What is a woman's attraction to a butt?
Well, I think it's because women, more often than not, are at least a little bisexual. Women are much more likely to find a female attractive than a man is to find another man. And I think that's because the female body, both sexes would agree, is a superior specimen for viewing pleasure. Even women, straight women, I think, might often prefer to look at a female body over a man's.
Well, 95% of the time, yeah.
A man's body doesn't have a lot going for it. It's a square. It's very boxy and
occasionally
awkward.
you'll get that one unicorn out there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. What's funny about the super attractive men is you never see them really become a titan of any industry. I don't know any super attractive man outside of acting that is a huge, success outside of his looks.
Well, I mean, Ryan Reynolds on Sprint or Cricket.
But Ryan Reynolds he's kind of average looking in my opinion.
Pretty boy, pretty boy, pretty boy. He's a pretty boy, pretty boy, pretty boy.
I would tear up that Renussy any day.
Only because he's worth $1 billion.
No, I mean, oh God! If I got the acolyte, Deadpool.
He's got a good sense of humor, but no.
That right there, that would be on my trophy case. It would be Ryan Reynolds. I've still got the pictures of me with Brandon Rogers, which if you haven't seen his channel, go out and check it out. It is absolutely ridiculous. As a comedian, absolutely hilarious. He is the Theo Vaughn for gay people.
So I genuinely don't know the answer to this question, despite the fact that the Furman is my co-host. Are you legitimately bisexual?
No. I just anything that moves.
Okay, so pansexual.
Yeah, so long as it's above a certain age and it isn't an animal and it isn't dead, It's fair game.
I see.
I mean, like, I feel like that's a very fair line to go ahead and cross. Like, if you're gonna go ahead and shoot your shot with me, if you're above
18.
18's pushing it, but like 21, 21, you're done. You're cooked. I will shoot that shot.
And, you know, while we're on the topic, I want to go ahead and make a commitment to our viewers. For me, you know, the Lightbringer and the Furman. If we ever get super big, I promise you, we're not the guys who are going to be involved with messaging minors.
None.
We're
like
not.
0. If you are under 18, you are not in our DMs.
Yep. The urge that a lot of creators get when they get over a certain threshold to message a minor, we won't have it. Yeah. We're going to stay true.
We'll just like run over a nun or something, you know, like a normal person.
Yeah. We actually have a blood pact to kill one another should the urge ever present itself.
Yeah, like we got a wood chipper on tap.
Yeah, we got guns right here.
Well, I mean, like we got to reload, but like the point being is that the spirit is there.
Yeah,
you're never gonna catch us in like a Delaware situation.
No, this is that clean, filtered H2O influencing. I mean, it's that creme de la creme.
Yeah, with a little sprinkling of Gatorade. Gatorade, please sponsor me.
You know, I think one day we're going to get Gatorade, for real.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, if Shia LaBeouf can go ahead and get an endorsement.
You're a Florida man, after all. And you like the Gatorussy.
Oh, man, the Gatorussy. There is nothing better than the feeling of live leather.
How close does Gatorussy and Gatorade compare, like in taste?
Okay, well, I mean, one is a little bit more salty, but I don't fault Gatorade on that, you know. It's got to have that
electrolytes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thirst quencher.
Yeah, rather than the thirst trap.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the thirst trap. Like you go ahead and show me a water puppy on legs, like I get a little heated.
So anything with legs, I mean, we got to watch out. Over 18, of course.
If you show me an alligator over 18, I'm going to be up there. I'm going to be like, damn, baby, them scales looking... Ooh, they looking fine, girl. But so, to be clear, over 21 on mine.
I think we've had a good show to give some wrap up. So, for the viewers, you know, we're doing our best to make this pop for you guys. Trying to get some more engagement. We'll talk to you. I mean, we believe in interacting. We got the sun, we got a soundboard ready. We got everything ready to make this a great show.
I mean, it's absolutely glorious with like let's see, 5 bands in the back ready for you guys. If you guys can go ahead and muster up a little bit more than 10 live viewers, my God, that money's coming straight to you.
Skirt, 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 skirt.
Oh, wait, better yet. Blessings. Blessings to all the viewers.
But in my ending, I'm just going to go ahead and go off on the regular tagline.
Oh, no, don't it? See, one thing I realized about the stream, if anyone watches it to this point, they're going to watch the whole thing. We got them by the balls now. So we can end with something solid for our clip makers. So we actually have people assisting us now with some clips. We got editors.
Yeah, we got Jamie's.
So now when you start insulting us, you know, in the comments, this clip sucks, we can just say, well, we're going to beat our editors.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I already told them, like, our interns, they're the top of the top from Harvard grads.
That's true.
And we will slap them with the ring hand. However, remember, stay positive. Test negative.
No. We end on a final note.
Which is?
We end on a clip. A clip for the ages.
Then let's go ahead and lay it down.
It's on you.
Oh, it's on me.
Yeah, the hedonist among us, surely. A clip for the ages.
Man, just remember that your time here is finite, so you might as well enjoy it. I mean, am I wrong, though?
Yeah, you're wrong. Where's the clip?
Okay. Where's the clip? Look at the sign. That's where the clip is.
What do we got? I'm scrambling here.
Oh, shit. 1 second. Let me just... there. Clip it. Clip it.
Okay, you've invoked the wrath of Sithis.
Sithis?
I'm gonna kill your ass.
Syphilis?
Well, it's worse. Oh, we'll end on one of our fucking sounds.
On some young scrolls.
Yep.
Hit me with that young scrolls. Wait, play that sound that YouTubers like to hear. The big ones. That Dr. Disrespect sound. We actually recorded this outside his studio
It's
before
actually
the controversy.
a live clip from Dr. Disrespect's studio.
We recorded
We
this.
found it. I went undercover.
What a grand and intoxicating innocence.
All right. It's been good, guys. The light has been brought. We're going to end zooming.